Hello and welcome to Dear Parents. I'm Dana Arias, the author of Dear Parents from Your Child's Loving Teacher. And last video we talked about those wounds, what they look like, those initial wounds. And I shared with you something that was, one of my wounds, which is sometimes feeling not that smart because of my dyslexia and having, these struggles where I think, I'm not going to be able to learn. And that is really important to look at. Because when we look at our wound, I got some answers from my aunts, who I just adore, saying something to the effect of, but you are smart. And I was like, yeah, I know I'm smart, but it still sometimes feels, because it touches that wound. And I want to show you this chopstick. It could be a straw, it could be any stick. This chopstick is one chopstick. It's the same chopstick. And on one side is the wound, and on one side is the healing part of it. It's the same thing. It's kind of like a duality. It's the same stick, the same chopstick holds those two sides to it on opposite sides. Here is the hurt, but here is the healing. When I'm able to look at this hurt here, as I did with you, and start questioning about that healing, about this, area, I can start discovering this side, which is amazing. And this side is pretty cool and pretty awesome, because this side has things like, I'm actually capable of doing a lot. I wouldn't be doing these videos if I did not learn, if I were not smart, if I were not capable. Oh, but I don't feel smart. Well, then I ask questions. Is this that I'm seeing real? Or is it just an idea that I have? It might be a little bit harder for me to do things, but can I question it? Is it an idea? Oh, it is. And then I get to this point. Well, if I struggled with all of this, what can I do to help my students learn? I become a better teacher because of that. Does that, I can look at that struggle I had and start coming up with ways of what can I do to help my students so that they don't struggle with that. And suddenly what was a wound becomes your best ally and your best teacher. Does that make sense? It's hard to look at it sometimes that way. And yet we need to look at it that way sometimes. And it takes courage to look in our own wounds. So I want to leave you with that and start looking at what is that wound actually teaching you and trying to get to move forward. Now, I want to say something. My granddaughter Lynette has come back, and we are going to start doing videos now that we can start going from one house to the other. And she made this beautiful sign for me. I love you, Lana. And Lynette, I love you too. So with this, I leave you, because I did promise her I was going to share it. And don't forget, look at your initial wound, but look at two sides of it. What is that wound teaching you? Because that's where you're going to find your greatest strength. Have a good afternoon.